Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Namaste Frontend System Design. We are in a security module and we are going to talk about another interesting topic, which is what about the client side storage? Like anything that you have on the client side, is that secure? So in general, we have heard about many things. Anything that you put in local storage, anything that you put on IndexedDB or cookie, you have to think twice, especially when we are talking about any sensitive information like user credentials, user token, any of these things, because anyone can come and steal. It can be your own script, it can be third party script, it can be some extension, it can be damn anything. Like in such cases, how can we avoid this? What are the things basically we should take care of? What are the things we should consider? So I'm going to talk about 5 major points where if you consider those things, then you can at least ensure that the data which is on the client storage is still bit safer. So let's talk about that. So what are those 5 areas basically which I'm going to talk about? So let's talk about certain areas, especially the 5 areas. The first area is related to like how do we store the sensitive information on the client? So storing sensitive information data on client, any kind of storage. These storage, as we talked about, these storage can be any. It can be cookie, it can be local storage, it can be IndexedDB. What kind of data basically we are talking about? We are talking about like credentials in this case. We are talking about API key. We are talking about session token. Any of these things that we are storing in local IndexedDB, right? Or you can say cookies. Something has to be think twice. Now, what can be done in case you have to store? First of all, it is recommended if we are dealing with any of this such kind of data, it's better if you can store on the server instead of putting that data on the client. If there is a way on the server where you can, so first recommendation is please do that. That is highly recommended. So what I will say, there are a few points I wanted to mention. The first point over here is I will mention, which is try storing at server, the best deal. Like it is the best deal, the safest best deal. Second is, in case you can't do that, so please encrypt your data. What does it mean? I will show you an example. So consider in this particular case, what you can do, say suppose there is some sensitive data that need to be stored like this. So there is my secret, some secret has to be stored into your local storage. What you do with before actually putting the actual data, which is your sensitive data over here, you put actually your encrypted data. You write some logic, you use any kind of encryption, decryption logic, which is more secure, which we can use. It can be cryptographic, it can be any such thing basically where you can encrypt and decrypt it if required. So you put it in the encrypted format so that anyone who have direct access to the data may not be able to derive it until it knows the algorithm, knows the salt basically in order to decrypt it. Now, there are always chances that it can be leaked because all of these things are done on the client, but still it's a bit safer bet as compared to the other bet that we have. Now, this is the one thing that we talked about. What are the other things? The other thing is whichever kind of data you store, whatever tokens basically you are storing, please set the token expiry. So how that can be done? Now, some people may be thinking about, oh, in local storage, can I set the expiry of our local storage also? Is that even feasible altogether? Certain things can be done. I will show you a very small, you can say implementation. This implementation can be enhanced in such cases. What is that? So if you try to notice, so what we are doing in this case, I'm generating some token. This is some token. That token has to be kept into the local storage, which is inside the local storage. You are keeping the token. Along with that, the moment the token is actually set, there is some set timeout basically which is initiated. Now, after some time, this token is automatically going to be deleted. Now, it has caveat in terms of what if the browser get closed and whatnot. I'm not going to get into those details. There are still ways that can be handled along with the token. You set what is the creation time. Before reading it, you ensure that, okay, if your creation and the expiry is basically is having that delta which you are expecting, please delete it, don't use it. Those kind of techniques can be basically used. So what I meant by setting the token expiry, in worst case, you have to put some sensitive data into your local storage. This is something which is highly recommended. All of these options, why I'm talking about, these are all possibilities. They are best ways, they are better ways. But depending on criticality, depending on system that you are using, you have to use the feasible solutions. Like you can't change your entire system in one day. You can't fix all those bugs that you have, fix the entire architecture of your system. Probably a baby step. In those baby steps, these small techniques helps a lot. Now, coming to the another one, we say that in case you are dealing with some kind of authentication, right? So please have the right set of authentication whenever we talk about storing any authentication related token on the client. What it meant by, it is recommended to use something called like JWT or auth token. Like instead of OAuth kind of token, instead of directly putting the credentials, putting some random token, if you have JWT or auth token, OAuth token, that is still better. But again, not 100% guaranteed safe, but you are actually getting into something which is better than the normal solution that you have. Now, that is one. Second thing, as we talked about, and anything which you have, you should have your token expiry, your session token or any of these tokens that you have related to the authentication. You should define the right set of expiry, which is very important in this case. The other thing which is recommended, anything that you are dealing with the authentication based on some token which is stored on the client, it is also recommended that you have something called multi-factor authentication, where you take extra OTP, you take some extra information in order to ensure that the user is basically logged in properly or not logged in whenever you see something critical going on, something unexpected basically going on. Great. Let me pinpoint some more things. What is about the data integrity? So what I meant by data integrity, this is also one of the important factor. Why? Consider example, you have to store some information. We talked about you can encrypt some data and you can put in the local storage, and when you are reading it back, you decrypt. What if someone got that strategy? Okay, this is the algo that you are using, and the person basically able to manipulate the data which is stored in your local storage. Now, in such cases, adding some data integrity using some checksum kind of mechanism, right, can help you. So what I meant by, so you do two things. Encryption you are already doing. Create a checksum and put that checksum along with your data. So what is that checksum? You have original data, you created a checksum related to that. Now, whenever with same data you are creating another checksum, that will always be the same. In case someone tampers your data, which is your encrypted data, the checksum for that will be different. Now you will be able to identify. Now a person has to go to the another level, which is not just to decrypt, but also to find out where that checksum is, which checksum correspond to the what kind of the data. There are so many things a person have to understand in order to get and reveal like how to temper the things at a multiple layer, right? That is something which takes you to the next level. Now, how you could actually create those checksum, what can be done? A very high level examples I wanted to highlight what could be done in such cases. Example is probably this. So, okay. So in this particular case, if you see what we are doing, we have some data that need to be stored. What we do with that data, we are creating a checksum. Like there is some method which is used to create checksum that you can figure it out. You can create your own checksum method. That's not a problem. What do? You store the data. Along with that, you store the checksum of the data also. Now, when you are retrieving that data, you check if the checksum of the data of the stored data is actually same. If same, it means no one have tempered the data in between. If not, then something has to be fixed, and you say, no, this is the data is tempered. I am not going to use the data as it is. That is again, all of these techniques on the client layer to make it more proof, basically future proof kind of thing. That is which we are trying. Now, coming to the next one, which is my favorite basically. We always talk about client always comes up with limitation, especially the storage limit that comes. What it meant by, we have in general, if I talk about, we talk about cookie and local storage. We have 5 to 10 MB, 5 to 10 MB of data that can be stored on the client side. When I talk about local storage and in general, the storage kind of thing, although there are different storage basically takes the different capability, there are always the quota. Now, what I meant by, there is some storage limit. So this can be, I can say this is for your local storage kind of limit. There are multiple different kind of limit that we'll talk about. Now, in this case, what can be done? One of the ways your browser basically helps you how much storage you are already consuming. So consider example, you have huge data already stored. Now you are storing some more data. While storing this more data, probably there can be two things. Either More data can compromise on the performance, which is okay. We are not talking about performance at this moment. The other part is it can compromise on the data. You can say leak or not. I will say leak. The data will be lost. How come? You have a capacity of 5 MB and you're already at 4 MB kind of thing. Now you're trying to store 2 MB more data. You can't store that. You have to maybe clear the old data which is no longer required, or some action has to be taken because you have a limited capacity. Maybe use something which is least basically accessed or basically recent access thing that can be done over here. Now, what I meant by in this particular case, we have to understand how these things can be leveraged. So there are certain APIs which are provided by browser, which are storage related APIs. Example, I will show you some glimpses. So inside our navigator, what we have something called storage, and we have something called estimate inside our storage. You actually check if that is present, and then you can actually calculate the estimate of how much basically this uses are available depending on the quota. So either you calculate this quota, the users, or the total quota, both you can calculate. You can calculate how much it is used and what is the total quota which is available, because the quota can be different based on the browser to browser, which is very important. So in this particular case, you decide, okay, this is my use, this is my total. Now I will decide how much basically I can store so that your data is not lost. Those kind of thing basically makes a lot of sense in such scenarios where you have cap basically in those things. With that, let me also introduce one more thing. Maybe that although we have a different section altogether, we are talking about the client side storage, any storage, right? But still, let me talk about a very high level. We have different kind of storage like local storage as I talk about. We have storage like we have session storage. We have index DB. We have other kind of storage like we have cookies. Probably we can talk about, we can have cache storage. So I will talk about cookie, and we have cache also, like browser cache to be precise, that I am talking about. Now all of these basically comes with some limits. Like all of these basically comes with some of the limit. What are those limits? Let's talk about. In general, the local storage have 5 to 10 MB kind of per domain. Like for one domain, this is kind of a limitation that we have. If we talk about session storage is almost quite similar, which is 5 to 10 MB kind of data that you can have in your session storage also. When we talk about index DB ranges basically are huge, which is you can say about starting from like 50 MB to basically you can talk about a big one fixed to some 100 MBs approximate, right? That much data basically you can store, again depending on your browser capability. Like some browser allow that, some browser do not allow that. In terms of cookie, we have limits from 4 KB data to approximate, if I remember correctly, it is 20 KB. It's just that per cookie it is 4 KB. In total, how much cookie can store is something 20 KB data. That is the max basically that we have. Now, similarly, if we talk about cache storage, it can go around hundreds of, you can say, MBs of data. So hundreds of MBs of data that can be stored inside your, in general, cache that we have, including it is much larger than the local storage. These caches are like your browser default cache when your JavaScript loads, when your images and all those things loads. And there are some header, cache control header, which says that go please store these data inside your browser, right? Those kind of cache I'm talking about. Now, what I meant by, if you see interesting thing, you have to handle your storage properly, because it can not directly result into the security, but again, the data loss is something that can happen if you do not encounter like different storage on the client have different limits and you do not acknowledge that properly. So this is something which is again very, very important, and we should not skip that. Now comes to another important thing which we have already discussed in one of the module earlier, but still highlighting this is important, which is your proper session management. So when I say proper session management, I precisely meant like we are talking about any sessions, any token that we store. Those token, especially the cookies I'm talking about, those token should have something called HTTP only and secure kind of thing. What it meant by. So in such case, there are two things we have to understand. When we set a header or set a cookie with this particular token, I'm going to talk about this token again and again, or these kind of configuration again because it makes sense. This is cookie. we are setting a cookie. There can be any session information, any cookie that we are storing inside this. It's our choice. Along with that, I am saying this cookie is secure, which means I can access only on the HTTPS. Second, this is HTTP only. What does it mean? I can access this on the server. I cannot use JavaScript code in order to access this any cookie which is set using HTTP only. So this brings to an important, interesting fact. Consider you have a cookie which is related to your authentication and authorization related. You have third-party extension, you have third-party library. They could use, like, they could read your cookie basically using document.cookie APIs that we have. Those cookies can be retrieved. But you wanted to secure those cookies so that your tokens, your safety related API credentials are not leaked to someone. So these headers basically helps you to provide you better session management. Now, why I talked about this? Because ultimately we are talking about a cookie. You can set the cookie from the client. You can play around multiple things from the client. But even if you are playing from the client, if you are setting for some reason from the client that cookie, for some reason, ensure that you do not read it back. The reading of those cookies are always happen on the server, and try to prefer using HTTP only. That will make your, you can say, client side storage more foolproof. Now, we have talked about 5 things, which is ensuring that all the sensitive information that you have either encoded, encrypted, having a proper expiry. If you are having any of token related to your credentials, please use JWT or OAuth kind of thing. Have a proper session expiry token. Use multi-factor authentication. Have a checksum, which is to ensure that your data is not corrupted in between. Whenever you store on the client, ensure that you are leveraging the right set of storage. You are not basically misusing the storage, or you are not reaching to the limit, else it will end into the loss of the data. And similarly, what we have is a session management. Please do take care of using the right set of HTTP only secure kind of parameters along with your cookie when you are setting. So I hope you find something interesting, you find something meaningful over here. We will keep on talking about multiple other security concepts which makes you a better developer. And it's not just going to help you to crack interviews, as I said, it is going to help you to grow in your career. With that, see you in the next session. Signing off.